Today we're going to talk about why being single, being in a relationship, or being married should none of them be glorified. Now, as we know, life has pros and cons. Nothing is guaranteed in life. The only thing that's guaranteed in life is you live to get grown, you're gonna have taxes, and eventually you're gonna die. We know this. So it's the same thing with being single, being married, or being in a relationship. None of them should be glorified. Now, if you want to get married, okay, but I don't think you should be obsessed with it. Okay, you want to stay single, that's fine. But don't try to make others feel like something wrong with them because they want to get married. Okay, that's cool. Being in a relationship is fine. As long as you don't be obsessed with it, make other people feel like something wrong with them because they don't want to be in a relationship. Now, what I'm going to start with first is relationships. Now, the number one pros to being in a relationship is you're not alone. You can go around and tell people, I'm in a relationship. That's the pros, right? But the cons is what people don't see within that relationship. It could be a whole lot of narcissistic stuff going on within that relationship from both parties. It could be a toxic relationship behind closed doors. We don't know. That's why relationships shouldn't be glorified, because just like marriages, they have ups and downs, and we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. The same people that's on Facebook fronting like they got the perfect relationship, those be the ones with the most problems behind closed doors. This is why it shouldn't be idolized. And a lot of time, some of these women get in relationships just to be able to say they're in a relationship, because they're conditioned, just like some of the men are conditioned to feeling like if they're not in a relationship, something is wrong with them, and they want to prove to society that they can be in productive relationship. It's kind of like why some people get married. They get married to prove to society, and it don't be nothing about they actually love that person. They just get married for the wrong reason, and that's why sometimes the marriages don't work out, or they struggle in the marriages, because instead of them trying to please one another or please themselves, they too busy trying to please society, and they don't know anything about self-love because they haven't given themselves time to learn themselves and love themselves before hopping into a relationship, because they think that's what the real love is, but the real love is within, and you loving you, and you getting the chance to know you before you hop into something like that. And I know about this because I've experienced this. So I'm not telling you something that I'm getting from somebody else. I've been in a relationship since I was 14 years old. But really, like my first relationship, it wasn't really a real relationship. It was kind of like a relationship of convenience. And I'm going to get more into that in a future video. But anyway, to make a long story short, my ex pursued me. I didn't lie about my age. I told him my age. He pursued me. But he used me for my youth and the fact I was young, right? And I used him for the fact that he was an adult and he could get things from me that I couldn't get because I was a minor, right? And plus he had a job making money. He could give me money. He could give me stuff that my parents couldn't give me. And plus I needed him to escape the broken household I was living in, because it was still domestic violence going on in my home, and verbal abuse and all of that. And I didn't have any brothers and sisters. I was alone. Sometimes when kids are going through stuff like that at home, they lash out and they try to find something else to latch on to. And I guess you can say that was me. And all the friends I hung around, they had relationship with older guys. So I wanted to fit in and have me a relationship with an older guy. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of time I would choose friends that was probably 2 years older than me, old enough to drive and have license, so I could get out the house that way. But anyway, my point is this. He used me, I used him. So it wasn't really a real relationship. That relationship was convenience. Okay, now my second relationship was with the man I'm married to now. I've been with him ever since I was 15 years old. And we've had some rocky ups and downs. There have been times when we almost broke up and didn't. We've both made mistakes in our relationship. But my point is this. I really, since I was like maybe younger, maybe like 13 on back, I don't know what it's like to be without a relationship now. And that's a bad thing because I didn't get a chance to figure me out, figure out my likes and don't likes, love myself first before loving somebody else. Now, I'm not saying I don't love myself. I'm just saying I didn't give myself time to explore and see what else out there. I succumbed to the pressures of society of you have to be in a relationship or you have to be married. If you don't, something is wrong with you. But just like I said before, it's a lot of women right now who are in relationships because of the pressures of society and not because they it's something they really wanted to do. They just thought they wanted to do it because society put it in their mind that that's what they should do. And that's a con to me about relationships. Okay, let's move on to marriage. People always want to bring up the good side to marriage. They don't ever want to bring up the bad side to marriage because they feel like the good overcomes the bad. Not all the time. In the same way you have ups and downs in relationships, you have ups and downs in marriages also. One of them would be is you just can't up and make a decision without the other person, without letting the other person know what's going on, or him agreeing. Well, if you want me, him agreeing to it. Just like right now, I get a job somewhere else. I get a job like what? I get a good job, let's say in California. I can't just up and go. No, I gotta talk to about my husband and see would he be okay with even moving there. And because he have a patriarchy mindset through conditioning of society, who conditions men to have a patriotic mindset, he probably won't do that because he'll be thinking, "Oh, I'm following the woman. I'm weak," right? Whereas if he get a job in California, he would expect for me to follow him because he's the man. Oh, I'm the man, and even when I screw up, even when I make all the wrong decisions, you still supposed to follow me because I'm the man. You see how that works? And this was actually the reason why I waited so long to get married. Because of that. Marriage is based on patriarchy also. And even religions have a big impact on that also. The man is always right even when he's wrong. That right there by itself is a con. It's not a pro. It's a con. Because a lot of times these men who want to lead, they don't know how to lead for one. Two, you don't know who he's following. You don't know if he's following the Most High or the devil. You don't know. But society expects you to follow him blindly. It doesn't matter where he's going. You just supposed to shut up and be happy and go along with it. You're supposed to be a robot and not have a mind of your own. And that's a con to me. It might not be a con to you, but it's a con to me. Another con would be marriages are not the way they used to be. And even when they was the way they used to be, those people caught hell too, especially the women. They caught so much hell. Please believe that if you see somebody that's been married like 40 years, 30 years, they went through hell because marriages is all about ups and downs. And sometimes those men will dog the shit out of those women. Come on now. Please don't allow the television to mess you up. Those marriages were not perfect. They stuck together because of convenience. A lot of those women got married just to get out of the house. I don't know when we're going to have that conversation, but anyway. Moving on. The good thing about being single is when you're single, there's just you. You don't have to worry about you and a spouse. You can get a job anywhere you want to. Don't have to worry about checking in with somebody because you're in a relationship with them or you're in a marriage with them. Being single fits some people like a glove. At least that's the way it appears. But see, once again, behind closed doors, we don't know how that person feels. We don't know how that person feels when he or she turned the knob and opened up the door and there's nobody there to greet them. We don't know how that person feels. And this is why being single shouldn't be glorified either. Because that person could be fronting to everybody else like they're having the time of their life being single. But the real truth is they're single because they haven't found that special somebody or somebody they deem that special somebody worthy enough to be in a relationship with them and get married to them. Or maybe they did find that special somebody earlier in life, but they passed them by or they allowed them to slip through their hands because at that time they wasn't ready to settle down. And so now they try to find somebody else or find other people to measure up to that person, and they can't find that person. Not to say that that person's still not out there, they just haven't found them yet. Another thing I've witnessed about being single is when you are, society tries to pressure you into either being in a relationship, being married, and having kids, and they constantly ask you why you're not. And I think that's a con also. And now that I'm married, a lot of times people expect for you to have kids, after you get married. And sometimes you see people your age with kids and you feel like you're missing out. But yeah, nothing should be idolized or glorified. Being single, married, or relationship, none of these things should be glorified. Because you can be married today and divorced tomorrow. You can be in a relationship today and broke up tomorrow. You can be single and at peace. But get married and become stressed out and not at peace. You can be in all types of hell. It's married people right now who have a better time when they're not at home. And so they do everything possible not to go home because when they go home, they're not at peace. If you really want to glorify something, glorify your creator. Glorify the one who created you along with all things on earth. But anyway, don't forget to leave a comment down below whether it's negative or positive. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Peace.